Here's the real reason Trump wants to overthrow the Venezuelan government that the media won't tell you. And trust me, it has absolutely nothing to do with narco trafficking. In reality, Trump just wants to plunder Venezuela's massive oil reserves. I mean, he even said so himself.
When I left, Venezuela was ready to collapse. We would have taken it up. We would have gotten all that oil. It would have been right next door.
See, for years, Venezuela's oil was controlled by Western corporations who made billions of dollars off it. But in 1998, Venezuela had a socialist revolution and took control of their own resources. And the narrative about this in Western media is that socialism completely failed in Venezuela, so we need to bring their people freedom. But that's just an outright lie. Listen to some of the things that Venezuela achieved when they reinvested their oil in social development. They launched anti-poverty campaigns that decreased poverty from 70% to 21% and extreme poverty from 40 to 7. They also expanded retirement funds, allowing over 1 million elderly people to have pensions for the first time. They built tons of new schools, completely abolishing illiteracy and giving young adults access to affordable higher education. Not to mention they expanded public daycares, so every parent now has an affordable daycare option. And in a similar way, they created a bunch of public grocery stores, which vastly decreased malnutrition. And all they had to do in order to achieve this was take their oil out of the hands of oligarchs who were getting rich on the backs of everyone else and reinvest it in their people. And that is what the US calls authoritarianism, when you give the working people more authority than corporations. But now the US desperately wants that oil back in corporate hands, and they're willing to start a disastrous war in order to do so. Because our government is the real authoritarian dictatorship with no democracy to speak of. Our government just does whatever the big corporations and banks want. Full stop.
About 10 days after 9/11, I went through the Pentagon. About 10 days after 9/11, I went through the Pentagon and I saw Secretary Rumsfeld. And one of the generals called me and he said, "Sir, you got to come in and talk to me a second." I said, "Well, you're too busy." He said, No. He says, "We've made the decision. We're going to war with Iraq." I said, "We're going to war with Iraq? Why?" He said, "I don't know." He said, "I guess they don't know what else to do." I said, "Well, did they find some information connecting Saddam to Al-Qaeda?" He said, No. He says, "There's nothing new that way. They just made the decision to go to war with Iraq." He said, "I guess it's like we don't know what to do about terrorists, but we got a good military and we can take down governments." So I came back to see him a few weeks later, and by that time we were bombing in Afghanistan. I said, "Are we still going to war with Iraq?" And he said, "Oh, it's worse than that." He said, "I just got this down from upstairs," meaning the Secretary of Defense's office today, and he said, "This is a memo that describes how we're going to take out 7 countries in 5 years, starting with Iraq and then Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finishing off Iran." I said, "Is it classified?" He said, "Yes, sir." I said, "Well, don't show it."
Well, Trump, you damn sure did it now. China is moving in their ships around the coast of Venezuela to help protect them. They're going to box your ships in. You fucked up, you dumb son of a bitch. Let me know what you guys think. You can look this up. It's absolutely public everywhere. China is moving their ships in around the coast of Venezuela to show their support for Latin America. It's about to start, guys. As most of you know, I'm in Latin America. They're not playing here, guys. They're gearing up. It's about to start.
Shalom, shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, and double honors to the elders, a great millstone. This lesson is entitled, "And they covet fields and take them by violence." And we were talking about Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. "And they covet fields and take them by violence." Okay, let's read about it. Micah 2, and verses 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. So the Lord has a judgment prepared for them. Okay. America, Babylon the Great. All right. The headquarters for the so-called white man, the Edomite power structure will be destroyed. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, all right, verses 3, against this family is pointing out a certain group of people, and that will be the Edomites of the Bible. Do I devise an evil, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall you go heartily, for this time is evil. All right, because it's going to be World War III. All right, Habakkuk 2. All right, verses 4. Habakkuk 2 verses 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. That is the Edomites. They're not righteous people. That's what the Lord is saying. But the just shall live by his faith. Okay, and that will be the Israelites. Yea, also because he transgresses by wine. That's his philosophies, his ways. Okay, make America great again. Be all you can be. His philosophies. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. Okay, because they have over 270 military bases in 80 countries, who enlarges his desire as hell. Okay, he desires lands, he covers fields, and is as death, because when he arrives, death is caused. Okay, all right, like they said it was weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. All right, but there wasn't. But he caused like over 100,000 people to lose their lives, and cannot be satisfied. Okay, they cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth him unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, to say, woe to him that increases that which is not his. You see that? It's not his. He covers fields, and they go on. America takes their army and their military to war to take the nation's resources. And Habakkuk says, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, where the clay meaning debt. All right, they're in over $36 trillion in debt in America. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and shalt be for booties unto them? Because thou hast spoiled, that means robbed, many nations. All the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, and of the city, and all that dwell therein. Woe to him that coveteth, and evil coveteth to his house. You know what? They got a lot of oil over there in Venezuela. We got to get that oil, man. That's going to make America great again. Woe to him that coveteth, and evil coveteth to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil, America's downfall. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul. For the stone shall cry out of the wall. That will be the 12 tribes of Israel, all right, the prophets. And the beam of the timber shall answer it. That's Yahweh Shai. He's visiting the earth with all these plagues that's coming on the earth. Mass shootings at an all-time high. All right, all kinds of upheaval in the earth. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood. That's how America was founded. All right, it was built by blood. They had to kill off a lot of the natives of Americas and in the islands, right? Okay. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establish a city by iniquity, sin upon sin upon sin. All right, so you can see what's happening. All right, they surrounded Venezuela to take their oil, just like they bombed Iraq. Okay, and now the allied forces of Venezuela, China, and Russia is coming to their aid. That I say all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekakwadash. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, and double honors to the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom.